Have you ever loved a TV and film franchise so much that you... Whoa! Dude, what in the Captain Pike's hair is actually going on here? Don't do that. What? You're doing that tacky thing where you bookend a series the way you started it. Just don't. Are you me? It'll take too long to explain, but you need to come with me back to the year 1985. I mean, as long as it's within my own lifetime, Quantum Leap teaches us that's physically possible. But why are we going to the Back to the Future year? I mean, wrong franchises all around, but okay, fine. If you must know, our original videos on this channel suck. And I'm here to help you put right what once went wrong. Wait. We have a time machine. And our YouTube channel is the most important thing? Can you, give me some stock tips or tell me who's gonna win the World Series? Invest in the second great Star Trek NFT boom and the London Kings. Let's go. Hello? Future me? Uncle Owen? Aunt Beru? Where am I? Computer lights? No, I'm on the lollipop. Am I supposed to just do all of my old content over? What's the plan here? No. To hell with that. Just because I learned as I went doesn't mean I need to redo what's in the past. So, what I'll do is get the top 5 done here, so I'll be ahead of the game when I get to it later. Computer, do you have the graphic set for the 5 best episodes of Star Trek?
Affirmative.
I don't have my script. Computer, use Majel GPT to write me a script in the style of Botwat about the 5th best episode in Star Trek history.
Working.
With that at number 5, setting the board, or the changing face of evil. We're thrown into a graphic of the aftermath of a surprise Breen attack on Earth, and San Francisco has looked better. In the best of the episodes leading up to DS9's ending, we check in with all the major players. Worf and Ezri return to the station after being freed by Damar to send the message of rebellion to the Federation. The worst thing in this top 5 episode is the mortal sin that is burning the Cisco's prize-winning peppers under the guise of doing something nice for him. We at Botwat fully support full-grown men playing with toys as Worf gives commentary to Ezri about Julian and Miles' fixation with the Alamo, to the point of building a model. How do they randomly bring this giant thing with pieces and all to the bar? Does O'Brien beam it around the station to where they want to play with it? Anyway, Sobor goes from objecting to removing the Costa Verata Nectos from the archive to becoming the sacrifice the book required to show its secrets to their new tool, Win Adami. Wayun seems delighted by Federation casualty reports, meanwhile dropping one of Trek's biggest mysteries on us, about the Breen homeworld being temperate. Yet, they wear refrigeration suits. The episode contains some of the best music cues across the franchise, particularly as the Cisco heads into the second battle for Chintaka, which leads to a tragedy where a Trek show loses its hero ship before the end of its run, as the Breen bring a new energy weapon that disables all electronics on the ship, and basically obliterates the fleet. Between opening the episode on a Breen attack on Earth and watching the Defiant get blown into pieces from the perspective of the Cisco's escape pod, starts making you think the Federation is in an awful lot of trouble with just a few episodes to go. The performances from all actors are done on a high level throughout here, and for an episode that's primarily set up for the end, it's a good script to begin with, spiced up with 10 out of 10 performances, earning it a top 5 spot here. Sorry I'm late, but yeah, redo all your lollipop videos And then we'll move on to those completely non-emphasized, boring slideshows we used to do. Man, those were terrible. Good luck. Yeah. Wahoo! A good watch that could have been better considering the amount of time and prep the episode took. Sweet, I'm done. Let's go. Where am I now? Is this a 2D environment? I can only manifest photos and move them cool. Alright, the sooner I get started. At 7:55. This society has no idea how to run security operations, and I even hate their hats. Sweet, so we're good here, right? I can move on? Future me? Can you get me out of 2D land? I guess while I wait, I could do the next entry in the top 5. In a slideshow, of course it's a two-parter, proving Wolf 359 did actually happen at numbers 3 and 4. No humanity to lose. Or Best of Both Worlds Parts 1 and 2. One of the most classic episodes of Trek that everyone seems to love, and with good reason. It mixes in all the elements of a great TNG episode, like interpersonal conflict, sorry Gene, suspense, chat with Guinan, and of course, poker. If you think Picard loses his humanity here, I see the episode as the exact opposite. This is the moment where Picard gains a small bit of humanity for himself, and it took the Borg to get him there. While he's had moments of clarity in the first 3 seasons prior, Picard has to become the voice of the Borg to find his voice as more than just a rigid arm of the Federation. Where Chain of Command suffers a huge loss of rankings due to a severely underused first part of a two-parter, this is maybe the best first part of a two-part episode in television history, leaving us hanging on Riker not missing a beat. Being willing to fire on his mentor is absolutely the best cliffhanger I've ever come to the end of. I do have one major gripe that has never sat right with me since the first time I saw the episode. When O'Brien beams the away team down to Jerea 4, he says he's putting them down in the middle of town. Well, thankfully, the center of town has nothing in it and isn't at the center of this giant crater. I feel like they came this close to pulling a Rios from Season 2 of Picard and nearly tarnished O'Brien's record as an expert transporter chief. Though the real tragedy in this episode comes as for the second time in this top block of episodes, we see a Federation graveyard of dozens of ships at Wolf 359. It's something humbling that grounds the series in reality and reminds us that the good guys may not always win. The galaxy is as big a gray area as we deal with today. The key moments that make the episode what it is are the minor battles between Shelby and Riker, Guinan's pep talk to Riker in Picard's ready room, and the end sequence at McKinley Station, where Picard is on the mend from his Borg implants, but looks out his window and realizes he'll never be the same. Now, this is mostly a good thing. He's just got to have a role in the vineyard with his brother before things start to even out for a while. This one won 2 well-deserved Emmys in the sound department for mixing and editing. It marks a literal change in tone in Trek's background scores and music cues, from mismatched mediocre 80s synths to pieces that really move you. Absolutely Trek and television's greatest two-parter. What now? Not this too. Am I in the mirror, you? Oh, I can't be here. I've already jumped time. I'm gonna start demolecularizing. Hey, mirror me. Wait, what? Why are you blue? The first time we met, you were an Orion. Yeah, it was like a whole Tuvix thing. Mirror Janeway did this to us on purpose. Which is why I need to harvest your organs now, because things didn't mix so well. I need to kill you so that I can live. Okay? Okay, what's going on now? Mirror me? Future me? Me? I know what I need to do. Is there a John Luck Pickard at number 2? Second Chances? Or Tapestry? Trek doesn't really have a Christmas episode, but if it did, Tapestry comes the closest by mashing up 2 Christmas classics in It's a Wonderful Life and A Christmas Carol. His 3 ghosts here are 3 women he screws things up with, including one of his best friends. It's so ominous opening to a main character being told they're dead, and the afterlife is just one of Q's games. It really hits at some of Picard's backstory and regrets, as we see his father and hear the pleas of those that have died under his command or by his orders, and dives in deep as we get to see he had a bit of Kirk in his youth, and that is actually his strength. It gets really real, though, when we shift into the Wonderful Life part of the equation. Picard learns that what he had wasn't so bad, and his brush with death was a big part of what made him who he was, which brings him full circle with Q in this void, wishing to be dead over living out a life of mediocrity. And after teaching Jean-Luc that this is one of the best versions of himself in the multiverse, he just gives him back his life. While it's left ambiguous at the end whether it was just Picard's dying brain feeding him this do-over scenario and he miraculously recovers, or if this was divine intervention. But after Picard Season 2 being a season arc where Picard goes back to this lesson in a time paradox of setting up his younger self to freeing his mentally unstable mother, I think it's obvious Q was letting Picard have a few more years to disappoint the Federation and retire to the vineyard. For all the times I've said this phrase, this is the most humanizing episode for Picard across the run of the franchise, and takes TNG's top spot. John Delancey is in top form as he keeps poking Picard about his choices through the episode, really rubbing things in, but in the same breath, being some of the most benevolent and generous Q ever is. So what now? Am I dead? Do I get to do the final episode on the list? Oh, sweet! Thanks, dude! Oh, praise be to the great koala! I'm back! And we're almost done? 754 down with just 1 to go! Plus 5 seasons of new Trek to go back and add. I'm so excited to do them after a small break, I promise you. Running against the norm at number 1, Shades of Grey, or In the Pale Moonlight. Despite Trek being generally about looking at a new hope for humanity, where we've moved past all the interpersonal conflicts and shortcomings that hold us back in the present day, one of its darkest episodes with the biggest gray areas ends up at the top of many people's lists. I mean, this bookends this list nicely, going from an episode called Shades of Grey at the very bottom to one that could easily be titled that here. It's not even just the main plot that makes the episode great, but the fourth wall-breaking log Sisko's laying out, and never even saves in the end. Through this, Avery Brooks shows us his dismay for how this plan that he thinks is his plays out. The thing is, it's Garrick's plan from the beginning, and it's the lies especially that one should pay attention to in this one. He tells Cisco to sell the idea to the Romulans as a dozen good men losing their lives to get it. And near the beginning of this whole thing, he sells the idea to him that all his friends from the Obsidian Order lose their lives for speaking with him. He claims he needs biomimetic gel as payment that Bashir reminds him can be used to make a bomb, when it's very likely Garrick used it to destroy Senator Vreenak's shuttle. In the end, I believe what Garrick lays out to be the price of bringing the Romulans into the war is absolutely a bargain. There's so much intrigue and layers of deception to unravel here. It's an episode that makes you think, and the acting from Avery Brooks, Andrew Robinson, and Stephen McHattie as Senator Vreenak are some of the best in career, and some of the best Trek has ever seen, earning this, the Botwad Award for Best Episode in the entire Trek franchise. I can live with these rankings, can't I? Before we roll the final thanks Majels, I wanted to give a shout out to all of you for watching this 3.5-year journey to rank the entire live-action franchise. In particular, I'd like to shout out to a few of you that have been around since near the beginning and show up in the comments quite often. Toolwise, the channel's first superfan, super thanks to you. And Colonel Quack, Seth Mackey, Marshall Huffer 4713, and anyone else that's been here for a while. I'd also like to give a shout out to my Buffer Time livestream friends with channels, Scott from Opinions No One Cares About, Vanessa from I Love Bad Star Trek, Ren from Ren Rants, Nathan from N Squared, Gannon, Mr. Know-It-All. Also, a big thank you to my family for letting me subject you to every episode at least twice over the last few years. Also included is a link below to the full rankings in a Google spreadsheet to check out, and can be the starter of the making of your own rankings. I've got a ton of Trek content to come now that the series is finally done. Until then, see you out there.
Computer, that program is available.
Thanks, Majel. Thanks, Majel.
Warning, outer hull breach.
Thanks, Majel.
Decompression danger, deck 36, section 4. Sealing main engineering.
Thanks, Majel.
Warning, exceeding reaction chamber thermal limit.
Thanks, Majel.
Warning, outer hull breach.
Thanks, Majel.
16:11 hours.
Thanks, Majel.
And now, the conclusion.
Majel.
And we cause ethical